Okay, today is day 2 of the 100-day challenge, and it is February 22nd, 2007. Um, I had a very awesome day. I had two things that I wanted to share. The first was the devotional that I read this morning, which was so powerful and so relevant. I'm reading A Year in the Now. It can be found at churchinthenow.org, and the title is Speak Faith, and it quotes 2 Corinthians 4:13, which says, "And since we have the same spirit of faith, according to what is written, I believe and therefore I spoke, we also believe and therefore speak." And there are 7 bullets under there, and they're affirmations, which is what I love about this devotional. And it says, "Today I will live in the now. I will live in the now because I have the creative ability of God in my spirit, in my mind, and in my mouth. As God created his worlds by the words of his mouth, I will help to create my world today by my faith-filled words." Hebrews 11:3. "Today I will call those things that are not as though they are." Romans 4:7. "Look to the unseen things that are eternal rather than the seen things that are temporal." 2 Corinthians 4:18. "Today I will be justified by my words and not condemned by them." Matthew 12:37. "I will only speak about myself in the way that God would speak about me today." Today I will activate the power of life and death in my tongue by speaking life to that which is positive and needs to grow, and by speaking death to that which is unfruitful and needs to die. It gives some verses in Proverbs 18 and Mark 11. Today I will try to turn the direction of any negative conversations that I hear around to a positive one. Romans 12:21. Today I will strive to only say what is necessary, gracious, and edifying. Ephesians 4:29. Today I will not allow my words to be idle, but will use them to cause my life to be productive and proactive. Matthew 12:26. I will speak faith today, and today I will live in the now. And again, like I was saying yesterday about how the whole thing with the secret lines up, there's a passage here that is spoken as if from Jesus Christ, and let me read it real quick. It says, "I confess the lordship of Jesus over this day and command it to come under his authority. Because it is the day that he has made, I say I will walk in joy and gladness today, not in sorrow or depression. I will walk in light and revelation, not in darkness or deception. I will walk in health and wholeness and not in sickness or disease. I will walk in prosperity and abundance, not in poverty or lack, in liberty and in the spirit, not in bondage or in the flesh. I will walk in wisdom and know not in ignorance and the destruction that it causes. I will walk in success, not in failure, in victory, not in defeat, in power, not in weakness, in favor, not in rejection. Today I will walk in the God kind of life and not in the law of sin and death. I declare the end from the beginning, that this is a great, productive, blessed, and enjoyable day. I believe in my heart that what I say with my mouth will come to pass concerning the day's outcome. It is a good day because God is good and is a good God. In the name of the apostle and high priest of my confession, Jesus Christ." So I really love that, and like I said, it was a great way to start off the day. Last night I wrote out a visualization of what today would look like. Like I said, one of my goals is to move to Texas soon. I wrote out my manager coming to speak to me today because we were getting our raises, and I knew that we needed to talk before the end of the week, so I visualized what the amount of my raise would be, and also him giving me some good news about when I might be moving. Well, the raise went well. It was what I expected. There's a second part, which is me getting a promotion, which should be coming in the next couple of weeks. So I'll report more on that to, report that it aligned with what the amount that I want. And also, at the end of our meeting, he kind of said, well, vaguely, the managers have approved it, but it's not finalized yet, so we need to get the process going. So at first was a little discouraged, but I, forced myself to continue to think positively, and I began to feel better about it throughout the day. And at the end of the day, my manager ended up calling me and saying, hey, the higher senior manager, or I don't know if he may even be vice president, called and said that there's a position open in Fort Worth on a different program And I was wondering if you had a current resume. And I said, well, of course I do. But I didn't, want him to know that I had just been, passing my resume out to everyone. So I said, well, let me see. I think I have one here. Let me see and make sure that it's up to date, and I'll go ahead and send it over to you. So ever since then, I've just been visualizing that he passes that on to the hiring manager there in Fort Worth. They see my resume, and the fact that it's coming from my manager, lets them know that he supports me, and that there's a good relationship there, that it will be a powerful message coming from my manager, and that they will immediately be interested in me. They'll request that I fly out to Fort Worth next week for an interview and to meet me and get to know me and all that, and then which will be a great free trip home, which will be fabulous. And then they'll immediately decide that I'm the one that they want, and they'll have me start work there on March 9th. That is my visualization. So I'm looking forward to seeing that come to pass. That's all I had to say for today. It's been a really long day. I'm feeling really drained, so I'm ready to go to bed. Look forward to tomorrow, and I will talk to you then.